From I think it's a Chinese channel, and I saw them do like a brain surgery. So I asked my husband, I said, do you think they can do a brain surgery and give my baby a new brain? Because if she has a new brain, then she'll be fine, you know. And he said, do you want to test it? Do you know what it means to open the skull of this child? It's 50-50. Is it not the pain should go through? What if it doesn't work? Okay, then whose brain are you going to take from? Because when you wish that you brain of a child of this age, then that means you're wishing that another child of this age goes down so that this your baby can be well. So I feel like that's a little selfish.
Hi everyone. So today I was just led, and I felt like it is time we come up on social media, which happens to be like our office where we work, to talk about something very important in our lives. Over the years, I mean, for the past 3, 4, 5, 6 years, we've had a lot of people trolling, you know, my wife and I, that we have not been posting our only daughter online, posting our only daughter, our child, our first child. And so, not as if we shied away from it, but we felt like it wasn't too necessary at some point. But I think because we do a lot of family content, and so we show our kids online all the time, so people really want to know why are we not showing our only daughter, who happens to be our first child. So today we just want to come out and probably clear the air, and then clear the doubts of these people who have been mocking us and trolling us. Of course, you know, as I was discussing with my wife, I simply say, I told her that we just let them know that we shouldn't even mock the pains you do not understand, because I mean, as parents, we have some pains that has been quite very excruciating, but we decided to keep it aside and just move on with life. So I'm going to tell you about our only daughter and why I've not been posting her. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
All right. So of course in 2015 was when we got married, and in 2016 my wife delivered of our baby girl. Her name is Eke Aya. All right, so
the 19th of October.
19th of October 2016. Yeah. So now that night was one of the most horrible nights in our life, like very horrible night. I think on the 16th, on the 7th, 18 was when you started, the labor started. Yeah, on the 18th. It was a day before.
It was like the early hours of the day. Early hours of the
19th.
Yeah, it was the early hours of the 19th.
Okay.
That was when the labor started.
In the morning.
You know, and we had a good progression of labor according to the medical teams that checked us. And of course, during the antenatal and the checkup from the doctors, everything was fine. Even the placenta position, the water in the, you know, everything was fine basically up until the time for delivery, you know. And I think at some point in the hospital, of course, we're in a public hospital, government hospital, and at some point when I was going through my pain, it was like I think it was like it was not a medical personnel that checked me at some point. I feel like the nurses, everybody just went to go and rest, and the person I saw that was trying to clean the room, so I just assumed that might be a cleaner or something that was now checking me at some point, you know. But I have progressed greatly, and then the doctor came out like, okay, in the next few minutes or so, not up to an hour, you're going to have to start entering to push you, so that was the plan. And by the time it was time to push, we had some issues, and the baby's head will be coming out, and somehow it will slide back in. I don't know. The nurses were like shouting, and at some point they were like that I should not allow the baby. They were acting as if maybe I was the one that was sucking the baby back inside of my body, and or pushing the baby back. But the baby's head would crown. Would be like push, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, the baby came out. Baby was stressed, and baby was not crying or breathing. Not crying. Let's say not crying.
I think from that point, let me share my experience.
I at least I saw some things happening inside there.
Okay.
So I don't know when they called you.
Okay.
But from my own point of view, the inside of the place, baby came out. They now, you know how they try to tap the baby. They now said, okay, oxygen, bring the oxygen, just casually, So you think that, okay, there's oxygen in the room. So they brought one container. So they carried that container and pressed straight to the baby's nose, poke up, and they're like, it's empty. They said, this thing is empty. There's no oxygen here. Can you bring oxygen? So that's where the whole drama started.
So, baby was brought out, with an oxygen mask, with a cylinder, and of course, the cylinder was not producing oxygen, but rather, some sort of water. So I had to unmask the baby and took my daughter into the car. Now the ambulance they brought, I think there was no fuel as at the time too. So I were left with the only option to drive with the baby. So my mother-in-law stepped into the car, and then we drove from General Hospital then to another hospital, to Teaching Hospital. And then.
So in other words, what this actually meant is that in the whole of the that hospital, there was no oxygen.
No oxygen. Yeah. So
this is a baby that was gasping for air.
For air already from the labor room, and now has no oxygen.
To be transported, still gasping.
For about over 5 to 10 minute distance, and then even getting to Teaching Hospital again, we have to start filling forms and buying cards and all of that.
And then the oxygen was still not in the building, so they had to send someone they had to say one of you people had to go to outside of there, down a little bit
to get the oxygen, because
distance.
I was there with my friends as well.